You're listening to Talk Star Wars, a proud member of the Star Wars Commonwealth Podcast Network. Check us out on the web at starwarscommonwealth.com and take your first steps into a larger world. Hello there, and welcome back to Talk Star Wars, episode 168. I'm Rob.
And I'm the ever-present Brad.
Hello there.
Hello, how are you doing?
I'm good.
Yeah, good.
It'll be my birthday it'll be my birthday by the time this goes out.
Oh, well, of course it will.
Yeah, it's exciting, isn't it? I guess.
Yeah.
I'm
Have
told.
you got anything planned?
We're going to the pictures.
Okay. Endgame again?
No, Detective Pikachu.
Of course.
Yeah.
It looks like everything I've ever wanted out of a Deadpool meets Pikachu movie.
Exactly, right? I mean, what's not to like?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my that's the only plan I have for sure. And a day off on Monday. So
okay, cool.
I'll be enjoying a long weekend.
Yeah,
because apparently we don't have enough of those in May already. So
no.
I decided because there's one full
worm another one in.
There's one full week in May for me because all the other ones are 4 days. It's lovely.
Yeah.
How are things with you? All right?
Yeah, all good, all good. I finished up the Joy and Resistance trilogy.
Okay.
By Ben Acker and Ben Blacker.
Is that the young adult stuff?
Yeah, it was fine. I've read it passed for time, but it wasn't anything earth shattering. I understand why they stopped at 3.
Gotcha.
But you actually get all 3 for one Audible credit, so
that's pretty good.
That was kind of a bargain. Yeah. I'm about 2 hours off finishing Jedi Lost as well.
I finished that this morning, literally just as I was getting into work.
Okay, excellent.
Good timing.
It's superb so far.
I think it's really good. Yeah. When you get there, I'll talk to you about it. But I find the ending slightly odd.
Oh, okay.
It's good, but it's slightly weird. And I think I say once you've listened to it, then I'll tell you what I mean, and maybe we can, establish whether or not it was the same for you or just it's just a me thing. But it also, I mean, with audiobooks, it's equal parts possible that I just wasn't paying attention for something I should have been.
Okay,
because something happened in the outside world I had to react to.
Yeah, it's definitely a risk.
Yeah, I mean, real life gets in the way plenty.
I've told it not to, but it won't listen.
No, indeed. It's like it has a mind of its own. It's really annoying in that respect. So, not a lot of news this week. There is one piece which is, of significance, I would say.
Yeah.
Obviously, the big one is the announcement of when we can expect the next films.
Yeah, the Kenobi movie.
Yeah, obviously. Before we get there, though, obviously we are front-loaded listener podcast. So first things first.
On some episodes.
Yeah, absolutely. First of all, it is my great pleasure to join the rest of the Commonwealth, in particular the Nerd Room, who actually made the announcement in welcoming Daniel Thorpe to the illustrious position of Knight of the Commonwealth.
Awesome.
Daniel is a very loyal TSW promoter. He's right in there. The episode drops on Saturday morning. He's there late Saturday morning giving us his thoughts, which is always appreciated and, tremendously of value to me in terms of making starting my Saturday off right.
Yeah, I've been to his theme park.
Have you?
Yeah.
That's he's part of Alton Towers, right?
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, that's the one. Sorry, Dan, we know we're not funny.
It just doesn't stop us.
I know. Yes, but Daniel, obviously the Nerd Room made the announcement on the latest episode, and we would like to obviously join everybody in congratulating you and welcoming you aboard.
Yeah.
Well done, sir. So, our first message this week comes from Vesuvi, another Knight of the Commonwealth, in fact. And Vesuvi writes, "Thanks, Rob. Congratulations on your appearance on BBC Radio 2. Thanks, Brad."
Yeah, because you're nationwide famous now.
Well, quite. I was on late night nationwide radio. Fame beckons, I'm sure.
That's more than I've ever managed. So.
Well, you say that, but for four books is 3 more than I've managed.
Well,
and
yeah,
yours are way longer.
Competition.
No, I know, and yours are way longer. I'm just saying, swings and roundabouts.
There's something I don't hear very often.
It's swings and roundabouts.
Yeah,
makes for a good
play.
It's
not a competition, Wade. We've been through this.
I know, it's fine
because I win.
It's cute you think that. Let us all pour out a pint for dear Peter Mayhew. To quote Clee Glass, I know wherever you are, it's become a better place. Yeah. The news about Peter Mayhew.
I just have to say, I love that line of dialogue. I really do. I know wherever you are, it's become a better place than being a slave on a desert planet.
That is, I mean, to be honest, if you're going to say it about anywhere and any situation, that's probably the best one.
Yeah.
In many respects.
I guess. Yeah.
I do like it that the Peter Mayhew stuff kept coming after we recorded.
Yeah.
Like just the outpouring of love and warmth and support and stories and anecdotes and stuff. It's all really lovely.
Yeah, I think it was just nice for everyone that had the image he presented and the stories we were hearing was just that he was just such a lovely person to work with.
Yeah, exactly, which is nice.
He obviously put so much into creating the character of Chewbacca that resonated with so many people.
Yeah, absolutely.
For such a long time.
Mm-hmm.
We should all be so lucky enough as to make something that lasts that long.
Yeah, indeed. Regarding Bantam Mark's message about monsters in the galaxy far, far away, I sure would love to see a chimera, not to be confused with the mythological chimera in our own galaxy. Mm-hmm. The chimera is something we've only ever seen thus far, artistically represented on the bottom of Thrawn's ship.
We have.
Yeah. I know there was rumblings that it was in the...
in Solo,
but that wasn't it, was it? It was something else. I forget.
Nyarlathotep, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I agree with Brad that Force lightning doesn't necessarily have an evil application.
Thank you.
Say if one wanted
I rest my case, Your Honour.
Say if one wanted to use the ability to disable a machine. But according to existing canon, the power is a facet of the dark side and forbidden to Jedi. The light side antonym would be the Legends term Tutaminis, which arguably Yoda used to absorb Dooku's and Palpatine's lightning attacks.
Yeah.
I suppose Vader also used it to neutralize the blaster bolt that flung at him over the table on Cloud City.
Do you know what else is forbidden to a Jedi?
What?
Marrying Natalie Portman, so I think I'm good.
Yeah, fair. As yet, there is no canonical designation for the power, described as casually repelling and successfully deflected. I know, just whatever. Might repel blaster bolts. I don't know.
That's my Tinder bio.
Yeah, might repel blaster bolts. IDK.
No, casually repelling and successfully deflected.
But it's Tutaminis, for a lack of a better term. During research of the above topic, I discovered that Gungan personal energy shields were able to rebuff Force lightning.
Really?
They should share that tech. They really should.
Where does that come up?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Did you just fry a Gungan in one episode of a Clone Wars or something?
I'm not sure. It might just be one of those things that's on Wookiee.
I'm going to have to look that up. But it just really has thrown me.
It's odd, isn't it? Yeah. In regards to Australian Matt's question, my least favourite biscuit, anything with raspberry. I'll eat them, but they don't dance on my taste buds.
I don't know if I can think of any biscuits that got raspberry in over here.
Over here, not so much, no.
Unless she's thinking of a Pop-Tart.
Do they count as biscuits?
I was about to say,
they're not cakes.
Do they count? Well, no, they're tarts, aren't they? Which then raises the question of whether a tart is a cake or not.
Well, quite.
I mean, they don't look like normal tarts either, do they? They don't look like a jam tart or a gypsy tart. They haven't got a pastry. Are they pastry? They're not really, are they?
They're kind of pastry, but I mean, they're not in the traditional sense of a muffin and, oh, no, I've gone cross-eyed. I don't know. I really don't know. I think raspberry... I'm trying to think of anything that's got even raspberry... There must be some sort of biscuits or maybe high-end chocolates and stuff sometimes have like fruit shavings and stuff. And
I can't think of any, certainly any. Okay, Rob, I can't think of any standard high street biscuit around here.
No, I agree.
That would necessarily come with raspberry. That's really thrown me.
Yeah,
possibly more so than the question of whether a Gungan would ever need to deflect Force lightning.
It's one of those things, isn't it? It makes you think, what was the situation that made them realise they could do that?
As far as I can see, there's one reference to it, which was in a poll on StarWars.com, originally published in August 2015, which was just a friendly poll, just like one of those Facebook-type quizzes, click this, and you'll get what Game of Thrones character you're supposed to have breakfast with or something.
Yeah.
And one of the questions is, which weapon would you use to repel Force lightning? And the two choices are Gungan, shield, and lightsaber.
Okay.
Which is obviously supposedly supposed to imply that the Gungan shield would deflect Force lightning.
Yeah.
Or it could just be it wouldn't, and you should have picked lightsaber. It seems a strange one to me.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I believe, I trust Vesuvi to have done her due diligence. So
totally, yeah. It's a really strange one.
Yeah, Vesuvi, if you're listening, you are listening. So if you would be so kind as to tell us how you came across this, that would be excellent.
Yeah, I just don't know when that would ever be useful.
No, I know what you mean. It does seem like an odd one to put in there, just as especially if it's just dropped in as casually as, oh yeah, it's just in a quiz.
Yeah, it seems just like a quiz that could be. It's like any other quiz. If one of the answers was wrong, we wouldn't take that as canon.
No, that's true. It depends. Yeah,
an odd inclusion to me, but I'll go with it because I'm not going to argue with Wikipedia.
And to be fair, I mean, StarWars.com, I'm pretty sure, has made mistakes in the past. They once shared a piece of trivia that was. I don't know if you remember seeing this one. I remember Steele Saunders was really upset about it, and I totally agreed with him. There was a piece of trivia that said C-3PO deactivates when Anakin's lightsaber comes out because he's been programmed not to recognize to associate his former master or to incriminate him. Like, no, he powers down because he's robot knackered. Because
they didn't want to write dialogue for him at that time.
Yeah, and he's had his memory wiped. And nobody can. I can't tell. Steele pointed this out on Black. I think it was on Black Series Rebels. He said, "I can't tell, one of the lightsabers from Grievous's jacket from anybody but Dooku's from close range. How's he doing that from across a room?" Yeah, it's just one of those weird sort of pseudo retcons that doesn't make any sense.
I mean, I've never assumed a Jedi only had one lightsaber each anyway. There's nothing to say that they wouldn't have a collection.
I guess.
They wouldn't have a spare. I mean, Palpatine's got at least two in Revenge of the Sith, hasn't he? He's got one in his office and one secreted up his sleeve.
I suppose so, yeah.
Well, it's a dark side of thing, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, maybe. Well, I don't know. I mean, you're not wrong. I think, there's obviously the crystal is bonded to the Jedi, but there's no reason why they couldn't have multiple hilts that they could just load it into.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously Dooku is partial to the particularly nice sort of curved handle.
That katana, almost like katana type bend to it.
Yeah, which is pretty cool. Let's be fair.
Yeah,
I think people would struggle to argue with that.
There's someone in the old canon. Their lightsaber hilt was made out of a Rancor tooth. I always thought that was cool.
Oh wow, I don't remember that one.
It was one of the characters from Courtship of Princess Leia ended up being a Jedi.
Oh,
later on, Truyen JR, and she had one. Her name will come back to me later in the episode or when Vesuvi emails next week.
Yes, indeed. So why not, indeed? So
I feel bad kind of bat signaling her now. Vesuvi, look this up for me.
That's fine. I mean, I'm sure she will be happy to oblige because
I know she will. That's what makes me feel bad.
Her postscript is, makes this clear to me. She concludes by saying, partial to cherries and cherry flavouring. I am also similarly partial. Vesuvi, Knight of the Commonwealth. P.S. By the way, if what we learned in the Mortis realm is to be indirectly referenced in The Rise of Skywalker, how do you think it might be conveyed through existing character arcs as not to disenchant casual viewers? And then she's included, for our reference, a link to the Mortis realm. I'm almost certain the Mortis arc was really divisive at the time it came out, with some people loving it and some people feeling like it just really didn't fit in Star Wars. Right.
And I was definitely in the second camp when it first came out. It seems it's more Silmarillion than it is Star Wars to me. It doesn't really fit to my mind. Maybe it's time I revisited it and gave it another watch. But I don't think that's going to be something they're going to go down.
I don't know. They could. They've mentioned it a few times over the course of Clone Wars, and then it gets mentioned in Rebels, so they've kept it kind of in people's heads, I guess. But at the same time, it's in wild space.
Yeah,
it requires. Sorry, go on.
No, I was going to say, my opinion is very much still that there's way too much to wrap up in this movie as it is.
I know what you mean. My thing was I think the only thing they could do that might make it work would be to do a short little. You've seen all the Harry Potters once, right?
Yes.
Do you remember in Deathly Hallows they do that little almost papercraft animatic which shows the three brothers and the Deathly Hallows and how they get them and how they use them? I could see something like that going, kind of working, but at the same time, obviously, I'm wary of going too heavily in the Harry Potter direction because, Star Wars can do it without needing to borrow so heavily from something that's.
Yeah, I don't mind. I hate the word franchises, but I don't mind series and universes and creative projects influencing each other. But, it does put my nose out a bit when Star Wars does it with Harry Potter because I'm like, we're better than this, damn it. Which is really tribalistic and stupid of me. But
clearly not. If history is anything to go by, clearly not.
They could, that could work. I just feel it would be it would be a deep thing to cram into this movie.
Yeah, that's kind of why I was thinking the only way it would work is if you went for the sort of quick animated. No, it doesn't have to be animated, but quick.
I would be open to them doing something like that. Mm-hmm. But I would rather if they were going to do something like that, rather than doing the Mortis arc, which is a 3-episode arc from 10 years ago now, maybe?
Something like that.
I would much rather, if they were going to do the animatic puppet theatre, look, they did, do that with the tragedy of Darth Plagueis for Wise, do it with Darth Bane's Rule of Two, do it with something which has more connection to the current story. Yeah,
I get what you're saying. Yeah. Mainly my thing was, I feel like they could do it, and there are ways of doing it quick enough that it can still slot into the movie and not take up too much airtime. Mm-hmm.
I get what you mean. I just, I'm still not sure they will, because there's, they're going to end up getting Rex and Ahsoka written into it at this rate, and there's too much going on, guys.
Yeah, ultimately, I think you might
story.
Yeah, I think you might well be right, but it seems like it could be done, but I think you're right. I think it's unlikely they will.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Vesuvi, thank you for asking. I mean, I'm always unsure when when somebody asks a question, they're like, no. I suppose we didn't really answer the question. Were they to do it? How might they do it with the existing character arcs?
If they had to do it, I liked your approach.
Okay.
And realistically, it would have to be some way of encountering it as a legend. Like I said, it's quite Silmarillion-like in the way it's presented. Not the way it's presented, but it's just something about the feel of it. It's very First Age. You could do it through Rey reading about it in the Jedi texts.
That could totally work.
Through Force Ghosts of either Anakin or Obi-Wan.
Yep.
Recounting the story. Or if he is present as a sentient form in this movie, then Sidious could do it as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I kind of... He could. I feel like he won't, because I think the corporeal thing is unlikely.
Mm-hmm.
At least I hope so. I sort of want him to be a MacGuffin rather than a prominent force, if you'll pardon the expression.
I know what you mean.
Yeah. But again, there we go. So Vesuvi...
Yeah, we want the big bad to be Krennic like he deserves to be.
Obviously. Mendo magic. And the way it's meant to be done. So, Vesuvi, thank you for asking. And hopefully that answer is, not too...
meandering and...
There you go. Yeah, that works.
I'm still trying to work out if a Pop-Tart's a cake or not. I'm not really focused.
No, that's fair. I mean, I'm still kind of there with you. So our next one comes from Diecast Desperado. Mr. Desperdoo asks, "Greetings, gents. Thank you for another great episode and for answering my trivia question. It really is fascinating how many people have crossed over the franchises. You mentioned some who did animated work. If we count animation, there is another, to quote Master Yoda. This is an amazing actress who was born in London and has been in Star Wars and DC in animation, Marvel in animation and live action, and has been in Star Trek. Cue the Jeopardy music. Do you want to have a think about that one?
Yeah, all right. So this is an actress who's been in Star Wars and Star Trek.
Yep. So
I don't know many people who've done both.
I should point out there is a slightly misleading comma. So actually that should read, has been in Star Wars and DC in animation.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Quite all right. I've got the answer in front of me, you see, so that's how I know.
Yeah.
So he sends it over. He's nice like that. Kids, be a despadoo, not a despot.
Yeah.
I don't know what I mean.
Yeah, I'm not really sure.
No, I can swing with it, to be honest.
A lot of the time, to be honest with you. Star Wars and DC in animation. Mm-hmm. Marvel in animation. Man, that's huge.
Marvel in live action and animation.
Oh, okay.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And then Star Trek live action.
Star Trek live action. I'm just double checking something on my phone as well.
What are the odds?
Well, I can multitask. No, I'm not cheating. I'm verifying.
Yeah, I know. I understand.
My first gut was, is it Grey Delisle? So I looked her up, and she's not even born in London. So I kind of scrapped
yes.
that one.
I do know what you mean. When I do, like, sometimes people ask you, what's the connection between these two? And you have to double check it, which means you have to go on IMDb. And then you run the risk of, if you're wrong, you accidentally see the right answer, and then it feels like you spoiled the game.
Yeah. Well, this is interesting, actually. According to the Oxford English Dictionary, a tart is an open pastry case containing a sweet or savoury filling. So a Pop-Tart isn't open.
No, it's true. There you go, then.
So it's not even actually a tart. So is it a biscuit or a cake?
Maybe it's short for popular tart.
Oh, that's my Tinder bio.
Yeah. I believe it. It raises a lot of questions, but...
It does.
Because you're married for one.
I know this isn't going to be right, but I have to look it up anyway in case there's some little loophole.
I feel like you're going to sit there quiet for like 5 minutes and then just go, it's a biscuit.
Well, yeah, I don't know. I was going to say Daisy Ridley, but no, she's only done Star Wars out of those.
Yes.
I'm worried it was going to be some kind of sucker punch and she'd done some obscure loophole or something.
It turns out to be Carrie Fisher.
Yeah.
No, she hasn't. She's done Family Guy and Jay and Silent Bob. But I don't know if they don't think they're married up to any comics universe apart from, I don't even know who publishes theirs. I'm
going to have to admit defeat on this one. I'm really struggling with any British actresses who've done Star Wars and Trek, and it's going to be stupidly obvious once you point it out to me, I'm sure.
To be fair, I wouldn't have known this if Despadou hadn't sent it over. It is genuinely quite a hard one.
Okay.
So, the one I speak of is none other than Olivia Darbo. She was Luminara and Dooley in the Clone Wars cartoon.
Okay.
In DC, she's been Star Sapphire, Carol Ferris, and Morgan Le Fay in several animated films and TV shows, Elastigirl in Batman the Brave and the Bold, and Melanie Walker, or 10, in Batman Beyond.
Mm-hmm.
In Marvel, she was the Black Widow in the Ultimate Avengers and Ultimate Avengers 2, and Princess Jenna in Conan the Destroyer, sort of Marvel.
I feel I have to allow that.
Yeah, tenuous allowance there. She was also in Star Trek The Next Generation as Amanda Rogers.
Does she?
Apparently so, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've been told. She's also been in a great many more TV shows, films, and video games. She is truly a great talent. May the Force be with you, Despadou. That was a genuinely...
nails.
I wouldn't have had a chance in hell of getting that without the answer in front of me. I'm not like Paxman. I don't like to pretend,
No, so...
I'm happy to admit when I have no idea. It's fine. It's how I learn. But, Olivia Darbo, one of the, probably, arguably one of the bigger crossover actors in all of media in terms of across the franchises, because that's almost every single one.
Yeah.
Missing Tolkien.
Actually, looking into it deeper, Pop-Tarts are technically classed as a brand of toaster pastry.
Oh, there you go.
Which is its own type of baker's confection, often produced as a breakfast. So it's not actually a tart. So if anything, it should be pop toaster pastry.
Pop-up
But
pastry.
you can also do it in the microwave, so it should be a pop and or ping toaster pastry.
Pop and or ping toaster pastry. Maybe maybe they struggle to get that on the box.
Well, there are many reasons that I do not work in marketing, of which this is but one.
All right,
and
fair.
gross incompetence.
Fair. A little like that last bit's a little.
They're quite large boxes.
Yeah.
Pop and or ping toaster pastry you could fit on with a bit of it.
But then you can only have the flavours like chocolate because you can't have anything else. You can't have frosted salted caramel. You can't have.
That's probably what Aldi call them in their
chocolate.
Aldi's always just gone. There's a vague 80s Soviet feel to Aldi all the time. There's no recognisable brand names. There's just all this kind of, you want Cocoa Puffs, it's better than Cocoa Puffs.
Yeah.
So
Pop and or ping toaster pastry.
Pop and or ping toaster pastry. You want cinnamon? Then no cinnamon.
No. What flavour? What flavours are there? Red.
Yeah.
We can get the colours on the box. Red and brown.
Red, brown, and beef. Yeah.
Pop and or ping open toaster pastry.
Toaster pastry, ready salted flavour. Yeah.
In beef flavour. Goodness me. Honestly. So, our next email comes from Mark, aka the Banter Menace.
Hey.
So Mark writes, "Hello again from the Banter Menace. Hope your week has been fantastic and you are both very well."
It was going fine. I just completely broke and it got even better.
Yeah. So I mentioned my Lego Porg last week. I attach a picture showing its present state. Should I continue? So I've just realised I haven't sent you the picture, so I'm just going to sort that out now.
That's fine. I'm familiar with a Lego Porg and how horrifying it is.
Yeah, he hasn't finished and somehow he's made it worse.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So I can give you some a description, because obviously I'm going to have to give a descriptor for the listeners because otherwise they can't play along at home. So he started from the feet up and stopped at the neck. But here's the thing, right? So underneath the surface of the Porg lies a lever of sorts, and I'm not sure. In basically, it looks like maybe the mouth opens.
Okay,
I'm guessing that's what it is.
Yeah.
But what it boils down to is now I have a picture of a Lego Porg with no head, but a lever where it should go. It is.
So it's he's actually evolved it from Clive Barker's Porg into David Cronenberg's Porg in a matter of a week.
Yeah, it's somehow he's found a way to make it worse. And in answer, from my point of view at least, in answer to should I continue, God please, because if you don't, it's just going to look like that forever.
I shouldn't be.
Why was I made to feel Porg? Right, you should have a picture with it.
He has just sent me a photo.
Yeah,
it's the reject toys in Toy Story.
Yeah,
that the vaguely 9-year-old Joseph Mengele living next door does to all his toys. Yeah. That's what it looks like.
Pretty much, yeah. And do you just feel like Tom Hanks is going to tell you off in a talking toy way?
Yes, but that's a recurring nightmare I have anyway.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, but your one is like Tom Hanks from Big, which is odd. It's really peculiar anyway.
Yeah, weirder if it's the Terminal.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, I can't dispute that. That's hard. You got me there. That's fair. But yeah, Mark, please do finish this.
Absolutely,
finish the fight.
That's and then in the thunderstorm, take it up onto a ceiling, shoot it full of electricity, bring it to life.
Yes,
absolutely done in science.
In reference to the Falcon, this is what I meant. My bird making skills are not yet up to scratch. Yeah, that's been made clear. Saw Endgame this week.
Maybe steer away from actual Falcons for a while.
Oh, yes. Definitely don't build them because you'll leave them without you won't do the head bit.
Oh, welcome to Banter Menace's Lego taxidermy.
Saw Endgame this week. Really epic and emotional. Not without flaws, but was a real spectacle. Mm-hmm. Hope Rise of Skywalker can do the same. But to do that, it needs to be around 200% different to Last Jedi. As opposed to Endgame, which I guess was very similar. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what's going with that.
Endgame worked as it invested strongly in the characters and the action was just right. We need more of this for Star Wars. Less Canto Bite, more action and emotion. Oh, and lightsaber battles. All the best and take care, Mark.
Cool. I've not seen Endgame, so I can't comment.
I liked it. I saw it last weekend. It was fine.
I Yours is like the harshest review of it I've heard,
and I liked it fine.
Everyone's positive about it.
I enjoyed it.
Everyone is positive about it. Yeah,
yeah. It's an enjoyable movie. I had some issues with it. I mean, they're very, very minor. They don't impact from my enjoyment of the film. They're just kind of things that niggle away.
Yeah,
I'm just sort of found myself thinking, oh, hang on.
Yeah,
is that right? And then that sort of thing. But no, it's nothing, movie shattering as far as I'm concerned. Any more than any more suspension of disbelief than you already need. But yeah, it was fine. I think it was good, good fun. But yeah, I mean, I'm never going to say no to lightsaber battles.
No, of course not.
Find a way to put Mendo in there as well.
I mean, yeah. Maybe he could be leading the Mandalorians.
There you go. I would watch that.
Yeah.
So there you go, Mark. Thank you for your meal. Meal?
Yes,
Mail.
Thank you for your meal as well.
Thank you for your meal. Two Pop-Tarts.
Excuse me.
Sorry, pop and or ping. It's pop and or ping. You can't do both.
Yeah. I suppose that's true. Yeah, but if you're doing both, screwed up somewhere. Pop and or ping toaster pastry.
Yeah, exactly. So our next question comes from Stu Backer, and this is the Commonwealth question of the month. So,
hello,
of course,
Stu Backer.
You will recall last month that we had the epic cross-episodes questions from Badley, and you would think there was nothing left to ask because he asked such a wonderful set of questions and such an epic list. However, Stu Backer has found a way. Hey, it's question of the month time. I finally got some inspiration from yesterday's announcement. 3 new films and no more info than that. Being the mover and shaker that I am at Lucasfilm, I can announce that our worst nightmare is coming true. The OT is being rebooted. It sounds like your worst nightmare is actually being berated by Tom Hanks, right?
Is
this second worst?
Yeah, it's been. If I've eaten a lot of cheese, he's berating me about my decision to reboot the original trilogy. So
double whammy.
Yeah.
You are in charge of casting. Recast away, but there are rules. KK wants a fresh new cast. If you've been in Star Wars in any way, you are out. Acting and voice work of any kind.
God damn it.
Plus, Millie Bobby Brown has prior commitments and is out. She was my Lando. Annoying. We need all the main cast, including Old Ben, Tarkin, Lando, etc. Try to keep the actors and actresses' ages around the same age as the originals where possible.
Okay.
Okay, you kids have fun.
Oh, this is going to take us forever.
Well, I was thinking we could do New Hope this week, and then next week we could do Empire, and then Jedi.
That's in 3 new characters. That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, all right. So we've still got a big task ahead of us right now.
We do.
We've got a lot to do.
Yes.
As of VH, they are now in 2019.
Yes.
Okay, so I can't say Ewan McGregor from 5 years ago. I can't use Ewan McGregor anyway, but just, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so who are we going for first?
Let's go for Tarkin.
Oh, man, that is tough. Guy Henry?
No, you can't have Guy Henry.
Okay.
He's in there.
Oh, Millie Bobby Brown?
She has prior commitments.
Okay, fine. I'm just saying, she could do a one-man show. It'd be great.
I'm sure she could. I'm sure she's very capable.
Yeah. I don't know. I've only seen her in one thing, so
yeah.
She might not have been acting. It might just be what she's like. I've no idea.
Oh man, that'd be hilarious, wouldn't it?
It would, wouldn't it? Yeah.
It's really, really subdued and quiet, and psychic abilities,
and just spontaneous nosebleeds. Yeah.
Yeah.
A bit like every classroom had that kid.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, actually, ours was a kid with a heart murmur. So we had I mean, it was like similar, but way more harrowing for everybody concerned.
Okay.
Not least of all him. But my understanding is he's okay now, and we were all very pleased by this.
Yeah.
So yeah, Tarkin.
So what kind of age are we looking at? I mean, because Peter Cushing always looked older than he actually was.
Yes.
He's always had quite an old-looking face.
He was 31.
If you do some Googling and find a picture of Peter Cushing as a young man, he still looks older than he was at the time. He was quite strong features, I think.
In my head, he's born like that, but smaller.
I do know what you mean. I mean, I can't think I've ever seen him younger than Dracula, really. And he's an older man there.
Yeah. So he was 64.
64. Okay.
So I'm just looking up.
He looks older than 64, though. You see what I mean? He did just always look a bit. He was an older looking guy.
So I'm looking at. I am going to say behind the scenes.
You're Googling.
Pseudo cheating.
That's fine.
And Googling celebrities who are 64 or thereabouts.
Okay, that's fine.
That's annoying. Can't have Liam Neeson.
Pop-Tarts are high in calories and low in nutritional content, do you think?
Yeah, shocker. It's almost like they're almost entirely sugar. Let's see. All right, there's a few good choices in here, to be honest. Now, what's interesting is, annoyingly, there's nobody that jumps out at me as like, yes, that would be a good Tarkin, because they'd be great, but for other things.
Sam Neill.
He's not on the list.
He's quite a bit older. He's in his 70s now, I think.
Yeah, I haven't got there yet
70.
anyway.
Okay.
It's one of those really annoying galleries where it's like 25, but you've got to click 25 times.
Oh, okay.
I hate those things. Denzel is 65.
Okay.
Right now. But you know what I mean? He seems like he'd be a really good pick, but for somebody else. Not for Tarkin.
Obi-Wan.
See, that might work. As long as he does like the training day voice.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be awesome, actually.
Yeah. I'll say, annoyingly, Liam Neeson is in the list, but we can't have him because
I'm not sure he works for Tarkin anyway.
No, I don't think he would.
He's off doing a film with Millie Bobby Brown, isn't he?
Yeah, exactly.
So people born in 55 we're looking at.
Roughly, yeah.
I mean, my dad would do it.
So, yeah, I mean, he probably would. It's true.
Yeah. In some ways, getting him to stop would be the trick.
Schwarzenegger 72.
Yes, that's about right. He's an old man now.
He is. Yeah, I realise this, but
he looks great.
Mel Gibson? He's back. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah. Rowan Atkinson?
I don't know about Tarkin, though.
No, maybe 3PO.
Yeah, that would work. I could see that.
J.K. Simmons.
Ooh. That might be an off-the-wall pick, but I kind of like it.
I could see him as maybe...
Dodonna or somebody.
Or one of the other Moffs in the briefing room, like Tag or Motti.
Yeah, that could work as well, yeah.
Kevin Costner.
He's too nice. He strikes me as too nice.
Do
you know what I mean? He plays a lot of nice guys.
I just feel the trouble with Kevin Costner is if you put him in a film, the film becomes crap, and I don't want Star Wars to be crap.
Ooh, this might be an interesting pick, actually.
Eddie Van Halen as Figrin Dan.
Travolta
as Tarkin.
Yeah.
It'd be a different take on the character, but I don't hate it.
No, exactly. That's kind of my feeling is, my first instinct was like, actually, do you know who's 66?
Nicholas Sarkozy.
Apart from him. Malkovich.
Okay, yeah.
I like him.
Oh, Kelsey Grammer.
Again, like, I could almost see Kelsey Grammer as like Uncle Owen.
Yeah, I see that.
And then David Hyde Pierce as Aunt Beru, just for weird output.
Gilbert Gottfried as Tarkin.
Evacuate!
I'm just looking at people born in 1955 at the moment.
I'm just looking at actors who are rough between 60 and 69. So.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Penn Jillette.
No.
Gareth Sinise.
Sinise could work.
As Obi-Wan, I think, actually.
He might work really well as Obi-Wan, actually. We need to establish that we're not just casting 65-year-old actors as everybody, just to be clear.
I'm aware of...
Yeah. I'm just checking.
The criteria, Wade. Bruce Willis... I don't see him as Tarkin.
No.
Or Obi-Wan, or anything, to be honest. Maybe the Sarlacc.
Michael Keaton?
I say I love
He's
Michael
a little
Keaton.
on the old side. He's 68. So he's pushing the limits of the age range that we're talking about.
Yeah. Brendan Gleeson as Obi-Wan. Is he still alive even? Yeah, he is.
Again, let's not go too far, get ahead of ourselves too much, because we're still on Tarkin.
Concentrating on Tarkin.
Yes. Pierce Brosnan.
Too friendly.
Has he ever played? I was going to say, has he ever played a Git?
Dee Snider.
Even his character in Mrs. Doubtfire is not a bad man. He just happens to be the new interest and thus will inspire resentment.
Dee Snider would be a terrible choice, but I would like to see the audition footage.
Yes. Maybe he says, we're not going to evacuate. No, we're not going to evacuate. Jackie Chan? Maybe not Tarkin.
Jackie Chan as Obi-Wan I'm down with.
I feel like in the current climate that would be considered problematic by people who should go outside and play.
In what way?
I don't know, just that kind of... I mean, it's already Star Wars as a general thing is already a hidden fortress kind of, what's the best way of describing it? It's an homage to Kurosawa.
Yeah, it's got some references to.
Yeah.
I don't believe he's made any Kurosawa movies, but okay.
Who? Lucas?
Jackie Chan. No.
Oh, Jackie Chan. No. I didn't say they'd be correct to think that. Just said they might.
Good. Just
yeah. Tommy Lee Jones is too old, and actually maybe fits in the Moff room.
Yeah.
If you're going for an all-star cast in that Moff room,
Kate Mulgrew is Tarkin.
See, again, like she doesn't feel like she's played anybody with any kind of bad streak. Not a proper one.
No, but very harsh she could do.
Probably,
she could do, I think.
It probably wouldn't be a massive jump. It might be doable.
Big Van Vader.
He's dead.
Oh, is he? Okay.
Yeah.
This is why I lost my job as a casting director.
How about we just bring Peter Cushing back? He did such a good job last time. I'm sure he'll be up for it. What?
I've forgotten Vader was dead. I do apologise.
Yeah, no, he is.
Any Vader fans out there? Not that one.
He is sadly so. It was his time. It was his time. It was his Vader time. There's a deep cut for you, kids.
Yeah. I enjoyed it.
Ask your parents about Big Van Vader because I just want to see what happens. Get loads of emails like, why did you tell your kids to ask about Big Van Vader? Dennis Quaid doesn't work as Tarkin, but he's
Paul
the right
O'Grady
age.
really doesn't work.
No. Maybe a C-3PO.
Yeah, I can see that a bit more.
Yeah.
Glenn Danzig as Tarkin.
Bit on the nose. Ed Harris.
5'2" tall and 6 foot wide.
Ed Harris is he's sort of top end. He's 69. He's pretty good.
I can see that.
Yeah, he's good. I like him.
Oh, Willem Dafoe.
Is he?
He's 64. Yeah.
Oh, okay. That might work. Let's Tarkin. But again, there's so many people who are like, oh, that's a great choice, but maybe not for Tarkin.
I could see him as Tarkin.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It doesn't jump out for me.
No, I suppose he goes for roles which are a little more animated normally, doesn't he? I mean, you look at Defoe something like in Boondock Saints, he's amazing.
Yeah.
And just like, he's having the time of his life making it.
Yeah, totally. But, I mean, even in something like when they did that Death Note adaptation, the live action one for Netflix, they could have so easily just motion captured his actual face rather than have him just kind of CG'd and then...
Yeah, maybe I'm getting too hooked on he has to have a face like a skull.
That's also Frank Langella.
You could do it.
Yeah, why not? So who's your pick then? We've got some good ones there. We should probably come up with a definitive one.
Who's our short list?
See, as much as I love Denzel, I almost feel like he should play somebody good because I like Denzel.
Obi-Wan's a really good shout for Denzel.
Maybe, yeah. I'm gonna go Malkovich.
Yeah. Okay.
Malkovich
yeah, I'll happily back that.
Okay, you can have your own one. It's also fine.
Yeah. No, I haven't got an answer that I think is better than that.
Okay, fair enough. So then let's see. So let's think. Vader. Who voices Vader?
Oh, that's so hard.
Who does who's inside the suit?
Dave Prowse.
No, I mean in the original film. I mean in the reboot. You just want to bring him back.
Glenn Jacobs.
That could work. He's the right sort of shape and size, isn't he?
Yeah.
So for those who aren't familiar from the name, he's the mayor of Knoxville County, Tennessee. Mm-hmm. He's also arguably known as the wrestler Kane. I think he'd totally work.
Yeah.
And then you have The Undertaker do the voice. Be a weird mashup. I'd quite dig
Redneck
it.
Vader. God. Then we'll just have Steve Austin as Obi-Wan and be done with it.
Yeah, that works.
Oh, HBK as Tarkin, and then we just
Have him super kick Yavin 4.
Trying to get a voice actor is really hard. I mean, Peter Cullen could do it.
Yeah, he's not been in Star Wars yet, so why not?
No,
right?
Peter Cullen could do that very well.
Yeah.
Because Clancy Brown has done Clone Wars, so I'm fairly sure I can't have him.
No, you can't have him, unfortunately. That also goes for Sam Witwer, which is a shame. Here's a loophole. What about audiobooks? Doesn't say anything about audiobooks there, which means that Mark Thompson and or Jonathan Davis are both available.
Okay, yeah.
I'm going to say Jonathan Davis for the
Jonathan
voice.
Davis does bad guys better.
He does bad guys very, very well.
Yeah.
Although he's actually in The Jedi Lost, he actually plays Qui-Gon Jinn.
Yes, he does.
Yeah, which is odd.
And really well.
He does a pretty good job. He does like what you'd expect young Liam Neeson to sound like.
Yes, he just sounds like Liam Neeson in something like Excalibur.
Yeah, or in when he plays Good Cop in the Lego Movie. I don't know if you've seen that. He's got that kind of slightly higher pitch, like, oh, hello there. You know, kind of a bit more upbeat and cheerful.
Happier, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah.
Leia, I guess, is next on the list. How old was Carrie Fisher?
Yeah, so
she's just about 19, I think.
Yeah, we're locking in Glenn Jacobs and Jonathan Davis to do the.
I think it's a good idea, but I'm open to suggestions.
All right. Well, obviously, listeners can feel free to cast once we get through New Hope. They can feel free to cast to their heart's content.
Yeah, Carrie Fisher was 21 when A New Hope came out, so I'm looking for people that are born in 98.
Yeah,
because I think that's how maths works.
That seems fair.
Okay. If it comes up Millie Bobby Brown, I'm done.
I have not heard of almost any of these.
Ariel Winter's not a bad shout, actually.
She could work. Maisie Williams is about the right age, but obviously that might be a bit too on the nose.
Yeah, I see it as more of a Jyn Erso.
Yeah, okay. Abigail Breslin's pretty good from Zombieland.
Yes, yeah, she's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Ariel Winter's a pretty good show, actually, because she's kind of got that sarcastic thing going on in Modern Family.
Okay. Let's have a look. I'm not familiar with her. I don't watch Modern Family.
Okay. That's the only thing I know her from.
Fair enough.
But I'm sure she has done other stuff as well. It's just I'm a bit stupid.
Okay, I can, yeah. Do you know what? From the look...
Elle Fanning?
Yeah. I don't know for that. I don't know for her so much. Right, so according to this website, Natalie Portman is 21. So I can only assume this is out of date. Somewhat.
By some decades.
Oh, I see what it is. Okay, so it's not actually... It's the website has actually been a bit wrong. Yeah, Ariel... Do you know what? I will happily go with Ariel Winter.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I don't feel you have to.
No, by no means. I think it's a good shout.
Yeah, I'm struggling to recognise any of these other people because I'm quite old.
Well, we are looking for people who are the next generation of actors.
No idea who half these people are.
No. Yeah, I think she could work. I think Ariel Winter could work. So then, I'm trying to work my way through I'm almost working my way through the plot, except I've taken Tarkin first for some reason, mainly because it was in the email. Right. I'm quite impressionable.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I suppose if we're going in order of appearance, it's for droids first.
Yes. So
age isn't as important there, is it?
No, that's true.
Eddie Izzard as C-3PO.
That would work. Yeah, I could go for that. The advantage, of course, of modern-day tech is R2 doesn't need to have somebody inside the suit.
No, in fact, he could just be a puppet, couldn't he?
Totally, yeah.
Yeah, just anyone working in the sound department could do the voice for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd rather have Bill Hader as long as he's... Actually, no, he's not available because he's BB-8's, some of the BB-8 noises, I think. But he's just wonderful impressionist.
Kevin Smith and Jason Mewes as C-3PO and R2-D2.
It would be a radically different take, I would say. But not one I'm
I quite like the idea of Eddie Izzard as C-3PO.
Yeah, no, I can definitely see that. Yeah, I
Great
think
Dragon.
he's good. Transport, eh? Mm.
Yeah, okay.
Good. Oh, going to the nearest place.
Yes. Binary load lifters. Oh, I dream of binary load lifters.
So, all right, I'll go with that. Eddie Izzard, let's go with that. I like
Sorry,
that.
I'm just being incredibly immature. My phone's just come to rest on people born in 1998, and there's a Canadian chess champion called Richard Wang, and that just broke me. His name's Dick Wang.
Yeah, it's true, yeah. What else we got? So, next, I would guess, is Luke, right?
Yes. So how old was Mark Hamill in 1977?
Just having a look now. He was 26 or
He's older than
thereabouts.
Carrie Fisher. I thought we were about the same age. Okay,
No, he's
26.
He's 25 going on 26.
Okay, so I'm looking at people who were born in 1993. Hopefully that'll be a little bit easier on me than trying to filter out a bunch of teeny boppers.
Yes, indeed. Should hopefully be people I at least have heard of.
Sense of reality.
Let's see.
Got Zayn Malik as Mark Hamill. Can you even imagine?
Ugh. I'm sure there are people who can.
Yeah.
Oh, first one that came up is Anton Yelchin. That makes me sad.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I feel I should know more of these.
I know what you mean.
There's a Brazilian footballer. His name's Fred.
Yeah.
That's
he plays. I want to say he plays for Man United. I'm not sure. Let's see. Charlotte Birth went crazy.
A little bit.
Andrew Garfield is no, hang on, he's 36. So that's a really good 30 under 30 list. Well done, IMDb. Brilliant. Okay. What was it? Born in, what do we have to establish their word? 98?
Yeah, 93.
93, sorry, yeah.
So 26. But I feel I should know more of these people, but I just don't. I mean, Ariana Grande, I have at least heard of.
Yeah.
I know it's Spanish for Ariana the Big.
So there's a guy in here called Mike Weinberg, but it's Robert Pattinson's picture. So I'm not really sure what's going on now.
What?
Yeah, I'm not sure, to be honest. I feel like when it says these 93 famous people born in 93, they're taking fast and loose with the term famous, because I've not heard of probably more than four of these.
I question considering Cher Lloyd a celebrity, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I would say that's definitely a stretch.
I should know some of these people, but I do not.
I haven't got a clue on most of them.
Stormzy, but not the Stormzy we know and love. Apparently no one of significance was born in 1993.
There's more than one Stormzy?
Yeah, there's Peter Stormare and there's Stormzy, the rapper.
Ah.
See if you can figure out which one was born in 93. I don't know.
Some of these names I've heard of, but I don't know them.
Patrick Schwarzenegger I've heard of, but
yeah, but that's it. I feel like it's less about his published works.
Yeah.
Do you know, it might have to end up being Ariana Grande by process of elimination.
Yeah, I think it might end up being, which I'm not, I don't hate.
Yeah.
But I am an idiot. How is there no one currently famous who's 26 years old? Oh, Meghan Trainor, I've heard of her. She's a one-hit wonder. Who's convinced she's not a one-hit wonder? No, I don't know any of these people. I might just have to go for someone who died in 1993 and just kind of hope that works. The Audrey Hepburn, I've heard of her. She died in 1993. Let's use her. Yeah, it's Ariana Grande for me.
Okay. So I'm gonna stretch to actors born in 91 for a slightly older take. And the first name I recognise is Emma Roberts, so I'm not really any better off here.
You know what? She's fine.
She's fine. Absolutely.
Become more of a horror movie actress.
All right, so here's a little list, right? So
I'm going to go a bit older. I'm going to look at 92.
Go for actors born between 91 and 2000, and you'll find a few.
Okay.
So Saoirse Ronan is my first list on this. Elle Fanning. Freddie Highmore. Nah, not so much. Ooh.
Taylor Lautner.
Josh Hutcherson.
Not awful. John Boyega. Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah. Josh Hutcherson from The Hunger Games.
I haven't seen them.
Oh, okay. Have you read them?
I read the first one, yeah.
Okay. I was just curious.
Daisy Ridley.
Nah, so you can't have Jack
How many
Gleason.
Olsen twins are there?
You can't have Jack Gleason. because you don't want people to hate your protagonist.
Yeah.
Because people still can't, disconnect him from Joffrey.
Cara Delevingne?
I'd rather have Chloe Grace Moretz of the two. I only say it just because it's not a random thing of mine. It's just she happened to pop up as I was scrolling through this list.
Okay, yeah. I think she's old enough for it to be a random thing now. It's okay.
Yeah, that's fine. Tom Holland's obviously got a decent enough part. He's fine. Mm-hmm. Everything's fine there. He's a bit too broody. Charlie Heaton from Stranger Things, the one who plays the sort of weird older brother of Will Byers. Mm-hmm. I think I've just been through the list twice.
Yeah, it's
starting to recognise some of these.
Luke, so we might just have to use Mark Hamill again. We'll just buy him out of whatever contract we can't use him for.
What, the being old? We'll buy him out from being older than he is.
There are some people who would just be happy for us to bring him back.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I mean, maybe there's a celebrity, because I've gone for actors, maybe there's a celebrity that was born.
What's a Post Malone when it's at home?
I think it's some sort of band or an artist of some sort. I'm not really.
Sounds like a genre.
I'll be honest, I don't know. I think it's a musician. Really, like I say, some of these names are really playing fast and loose.
Yeah.
Let's tell you what. We thought he was 18, right?
Yeah, okay.
All right, let's go for 18-year-olds.
Okay, it's 2001 by my reckoning.
Yep. Oh, we're back to... Hang on, why are we back here? Why are we back to Maisie Williams? Young Leia. That's it.
Yeah, it's got to be about the right age.
It'd be really funny is to let Jaden Smith do it.
Now I'm specifically looking for a Luke.
See, annoyingly, Sebastian Stan is too old. Which is a shame because he's so good and it would just be so perfect you wouldn't even have to do much.
Yeah, Billie Eilish is the only person I've heard of who's born in 2001.
I've only just started hearing of her. Until about 3 weeks ago, I hadn't heard the name once. And then suddenly it's everywhere. I don't understand it.
She has just got a new single out that might have something to do with it.
Yeah, but it just seems like she's literally everywhere. As in, she's gone from, I've never heard of her, and then suddenly all the articles are about her in my feed. It's probably some marketing executive doing a bang-up job. Because, I mean, I've suddenly know who she is, which I didn't before, so they did something right.
I quite like her.
Yeah, I'm sure I mean, from what I've heard, she's all right,
She's basically like Fiona Apple did a Conjuring movie.
I'd watch that.
Yeah. I got nothing for Luke, man.
No.
So, mate, can we just cop out and say we'll get an unknown to play Luke?
Maybe that's the trick, yeah.
I think I might have to be...
That's fine.
Our loophole for that one.
A loophole, if you will.
A loophole, yes.
Let's go for that. So, yeah, we'll cast an unknown who will no doubt look just like him.
That'd be great. Actually, David Mitchell and Robert Webb as R2-D2 and C-3PO.
Oh, God, I didn't know one bit till I got it.
But you don't know who you want to be who.
For some reason, I want them both to be both. Like that episode where they both play Holmes and Watson and they change from scene to scene. Right, so we're going to go for an unknown as Luke in the absence of...
You have to.
Yeah, I mean, it's really odd that there's so few... There's an odd age range that there seems to be this big gulf.
I guess that brings us on to Han Solo.
There's old Ben.
Characters.
We said Denzel, right?
Ben. I really like the idea of Denzel Washington as old Ben.
He's great. I love him.
Yeah. So at the time that A New Hope was released,
he was 35.
Was he really?
He was.
Old.
Yeah,
wow.
77. He's 40, born in 42. So he's just about to turn 35.
So someone born in 1984 is what we're looking for. It's you, isn't it?
So actually, there should be more actors born in 84.
You hope so.
I would think. Katy Perry.
I mean, I'd watch it.
Really? Okay.
Oh, Kate McKinnon as Han Solo, actually.
I don't know if I can buy her as a shooting first kind of character.
No, okay, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, the trouble with Holtzman is that it's basically just Kate McKinnon being Kate McKinnon.
A lot of her roles are.
Yeah.
And that's fine because she's entertaining, but Yeah.
Kim Jong-un.
You're not searching actors born in 84, are you?
I'll go celebrities born in 84.
Right,
so it gives me, if we did want to do a bit of crossover, like, musicians or dictators, then we've got that option.
This is true, yeah. You got me there. That's fair. Who else we got?
I thought Calvin Harris was a brand of clothing.
No, you're thinking of Calvin Klein.
Oh, okay.
I guess.
The guy in Fishbowl Wonder.
I see. No, it's Kevin Klein.
Oh, right.
Right. Wow, there's 186. This might take a while to flip through, so I'm just going to keep going.
Trevor Noah.
No whammy. Stop. Let's see.
I said Trevor Noah as a joke, but I could actually see it working.
Yeah, I mean, that probably could work, I guess. He falls into the same thing as McKinnon for me. Like, he's too much of a comedy guy.
Yeah, okay.
Prince Harry? They didn't get a chance to be in Star Wars after all.
No.
So he is available.
Yeah. And he's, we already know that he can disguise himself in a far-right uniform.
Yeah. As long as there's parties involved.
Yeah. Why do I not know any of these people again? What's wrong with me?
Ashley Simpson. Wow. Remember her, kids? You shouldn't.
Yeah. Why don't I know any of these people?
No, there's a surprise. Again, I'm surprisingly...
Claire Foy. I don't think she's good for Han Solo, just at least I've heard of her.
Yeah, true.
I feel less alone in this kind of drift of celebrities. Mark Zuckerberg.
It probably could work. Actually, no, he'd be better as one of the droids, wouldn't he?
Kevin Steen, can you imagine?
Nah. Speaking of people I like the idea of, but not for Han Solo, Aubrey Plaza.
Yeah. Tarkin, maybe.
That would be a very different take, but it might work.
Yeah.
Man, I'm struggling here. Again, this is odd.
It's going to end up with us casting Dee Snider as everyone by the end of the episode.
What do you think is causing...
A series of Jewish Americans shouting at each other in the desert.
Sure. What do you think is causing this disconnect? Is it just we're getting older? Or do they just not have as much star power as they used to? Actors. As individuals. Because I recognise a lot of these faces.
I know I'm certainly out of touch because I very rarely go to new movies. I don't watch any TV shows, really. So it takes a lot for someone to kind of, and especially actors, to kind of filter through into my consciousness.
Uh-huh.
Because there's no TV shows. Sorry?
All your nightmares.
Yeah, but I don't keep up with most recent TV shows. I very rarely go to a cinema. So actors are hard for me.
Yeah.
But I'm trying my hardest.
No, yeah. I mean, I don't doubt it. I'm sure nobody doubts it. Yeah, I'm just running out of people. I'm running out on this people on this list, and it's not Lou Ferrigno Jr.
Okay,
but this is fantastic. This is one of the worst mobile apps I've ever seen in my life. Every single bio is about Avril Lavigne. Every single one.
That is a niche app.
Also, not for nothing, but this is 186 entries, and I'm pretty sure I've looped through some of them 3 times.
Yeah.
And they're all Avril Lavigne.
This is why I just went to Wikipedia.
They clearly want me to pick Avril Lavigne. IMDb is definitely influencing me to try and do this. But I'm not
Avril
going to do
Lavigne's
it.
just popped up in my screen, but I don't want Avril Lavigne as Han Solo.
No, definitely not.
I'll be honest, I don't want Avril Lavigne as Avril Lavigne most days.
It's actually surprisingly... I think what it is, all the people you think are 35 are not anymore. Because somebody like Josh Hartnett, right?
Yeah, that is a logic that is hard to argue with.
Josh Hartnett, I would imagine, I'd be sitting there thinking, is he like about 35? No, he's 40. Yeah. So he's just out of range.
Yeah.
But he would be a good pick, I think.
Yeah.
Alden Ehrenreich. It's a shame. We can't just have him. By the time it's 2020, we've missed a trick. We could have, that would have made it worse, if anything. I was going to say we could have loopholed it to say in 2022 they have to be the right age, but then it made it worse because they're getting younger.
Jenna Malone.
See, I
know more women from this age, apparently.
Yeah, it does seem to be, there does seem to be more brand recognition there.
Yeah.
I'm expanding my search to 85.
Scarlett Johansson, I'm unconvinced. 85.
Yeah, so
you're an 84, aren't we? Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going down. I'm going down up a year.
I have a thing for Jenna Malone based purely on the fact that she looks a little bit like a girl I fancied when I was at school and never got with.
Oh, okay. I have a little kind of affinity for her because of Donnie Darko.
Yeah, totally fair.
Yeah. Well, see, this is much more. Already, the first 3 out of 5, I recognise 3 out of the first 5. Much easier. Mm-hmm. Just a year is all it takes to make this difference. Gal Gadot, Phoebe Waller-Bridge. She's obviously she's ineligible, rather. Yeah. Illegible. It's ineligible.
You've got big income children there.
Yeah. Let's see who we got.
So where we're going, 85?
Yeah, I'm having a look at 85.
Well, if you've got 85, I'm going to go 83.
Okay, fine. Dave Franco, maybe?
A little bit of David, yeah.
I feel bad for him because he's really good, but he just doesn't get seen as the more famous brother. Even though he's really good. And Dave Franco's got just enough. See, the thing is with Han Solo, it's complicated because you need somebody who's a convincing action hero, but you need somebody with just enough comedy chops to make it work, but not so much comedy chops that it's a comedy film. So, for example, Frankie Muniz, no good.
Yeah, Aziz Ansari, no good.
Yeah.
For a lot of reasons. Kate Mara, who only last year I realised was related to Rooney Mara.
I can see how you could think that she would be, but at the same time, I could see how you could also just gloss right past it.
Yeah. Mostly because I'm a pillock.
Well, there's that. Roman Reigns is the right age on my search. He'd have to cut his hair, though. He probably wouldn't like that.
You wouldn't know. It's a contractual thing.
Yeah, is that too? Yeah, he probably wouldn't be. He wouldn't be able to. He wouldn't be able to film on a Monday.
Rafe Spall, not sure I see it.
I'm sure, though. I'm sure he'd love it. Max Landis is sadly just not working for me.
No, so
as much as I'm sure he'd really enjoy it.
Matt Lanter would be so good, but we can't have him.
No, it's a tricky one.
Henry Cavill,
is he the right age?
Born in 83.
Box it, ship it. That works for me.
Yeah, totally.
Yep, 100%. So then Chewbacca then. Oh, Chewbacca turns up just before Han Solo, but you know.
Well, again, you just need someone. All of them were for Peter Mayhew, but we just need someone tall.
It helps to have somebody tall. Yeah, you could go. You could go a complete. You could do a completely different approach on it and just cast somebody just change the shape.
Yeah,
completely. Because you could have somebody like the Big Show, who's he's obviously very tall, but he's also like a very different shape to Peter Mayhew. But it might still be quite good because it'll be. I mean, let's be fair. If somebody said the Big Show could rip your arms off, you'd probably believe him, wouldn't you?
Yeah, we can tweak the character slightly with an alternate casting,
well, especially in this case.
Looks exactly like Peter Mayhew.
I mean, we could get any basketball player in that suit.
Yeah, I think that's what they did.
Yeah. Was Peter Mayhew a basketball player?
Yeah, I've essentially it's a stunt worker for C3, if not C3, for Chewbacca, I think.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I don't think it's necessary.
You don't need a voice actor, really.
No, have you ever seen the on-set sound footage with Peter Mayhew's voice dubbed in?
Oh, yeah.
So great.
I'll tell you who you could get to do the voice. Just because I think he would enjoy being in the film in some form. Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yeah, totally.
Because he's obviously a big fan.
Be a younger character, but there's a good Tarkin.
Yeah, he would. See, that's the thing. He's got the right look for something like that. But he's not the right. He's young. Now, if you did a Tarkin prequel, or he did Catalyst, now you're talking.
Yes.
You get Mendo in, digitally age him down because you can't recast Krennic. You just can't.
No, just Photoshop him onto Guy Henry and you're good.
Yeah, exactly.
So Rogue One prequel would just be Guy Henry with other people's faces photoshopped onto him.
It's a one-man Guy Henry show.
Yeah.
So
you could do it.
Yeah, why not?
Who have we got left after that?
So we just done Chewbacca, stunt worker, Benedict Cumberbatch voice.
Yeah, okay.
What a world. Who else is there?
Of the principal cast, I think we're kind of there.
Yeah, I mean, we got Dodonna and Wedge left in terms of characters who at least have one more film appearance.
Dodonna in any other film?
He's in Rogue One, but played by somebody else.
Okay, fine. Yeah. All right, let's find out.
I can't remember the name of the actor.
Find out who played. Well, we can Wikipedia this.
Yeah,
Jan Dodonna, list of Star Wars characters. Cheers, Wikipedia. Alex McCrindle, born in 1911, which meant he was 66 at the time A New Hope was released.
We've got a load of 65-plus actors who aren't doing anything. We've already established a big list of them. So
someone born in 1953 is what we're
Dennis
looking at.
Quaid in there.
All right, yeah.
He works for me.
You know what? That works really, really well.
I was sitting there thinking, Travolta, no, not quite. But then, Dennis Quaid. That totally works.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then who's left? Wedge.
Okay, well, that actor's name is Dennis Lawson.
Yes.
I know that one.
Am I right in thinking is it Dennis Lawson next to Luke as well? Because it's supposed to be Wedge. I know in the books it's Wedge.
Yeah, it's a goof. It's supposed to be Wedge.
Yeah, okay.
He's born, he was 30 when A New Hope came out.
He looks cross like all the time in pictures, Dennis Lawson.
He really does.
He looks so angry.
Yeah. Is Ewan McGregor's uncle? Bit of trivia for you.
He is, yeah. Bit of fun. 1989.
89, thank you. Brad maths.
No, you've got some right. We just call those maths.
I tend to assume Brad maths until proven correct.
You could go slightly off.
I opened up events by mistake. It was under the impression that George Bush Sr. was born in 1989.
I find this unlikely. So here's a few, actually, that might... Because this would be kind of a fun one to sort of mix it up a bit. Brie Larson.
Yeah, okay.
Or...
I don't think I've seen her in anything, but sure.
It's a weird Marvel thing, but Elizabeth Olsen is also born in 89.
Okay.
Odd. Or we could have Taron Egerton from Kingsman. He might work. Catherine Schwarzenegger. Nicholas Hoult.
He looks different every time I see him in anything.
Yes.
Jake Lloyd.
Is he 30?
Apparently.
Okay. But he's ineligible.
Yeah, I know, but it would have been funny just to cast him as a Wedge.
Yeah, that would be pretty funny. I do feel like, as I'm scrolling through this list, it is starting to get tenuous.
Yeah.
Taron Egerton.
You reckon?
Yeah, that'd be my pick. But I will also chuck in a couple of extra pilots and make them a little click. In which I will put Brie Larson in there. Brie Larson.
Okay.
That's a very different movie.
Matthew Lewis.
Okay. I can sort of see that working, actually. Who else is there? I think that's it, isn't it?
Daniel Radcliffe.
Yeah.
As Wedge would be great, actually.
That could work, yeah. I say I'd like to... If there's one thing I think I'd like to see more of in The New Hope, it's more pilots. Like,
yeah.
When I say that, I mean more pilots that we actually kind of get a glimpse of their personality.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Because it's all sort of faceless, nameless.
Trilogy, the Post Squad has been given quite a good background in the comics and books and stuff, actually.
Yeah. I mean, obviously they weren't to know that they needed all this collecting materials in 77, understandably so.
No.
But I would create a little... if you were to do it in the modern day, I would create a small group of pilots that were kind of the hotness.
Yeah.
And then populate them with people like Elizabeth Olsen, Taron Egerton, Brie Larson. Just make them like a little all-star clique of pilots.
Yeah, I like
keep saying Brie Larson. Very different. I don't know why I keep getting them mixed up.
Just makes me want some Brie.
Fair. But which one? I know, the cheese. It's fine.
Yeah, I think that's the cast of A New Hope done, isn't it? Unless we get to cast Peter Stormare as the Death Star.
Well, you could. I think if there's one piece of scenery that gets mullered more than anything else in The New Hope, it's Alderaan. You know, so I think Peter Stormare could play the Death Star.
Or Peter Stormare as the Dianoga.
Yeah. Well, interestingly enough, we've definitely got the right level with some of the Knights of the Commonwealth, because when this question was pitched, one of the things Matt Salvatore wrote, obviously we love a bit of Matt Salvatore, was he wrote the following. The set design budget is going to be huge. I said, cast Peter Stormare in every role. The set design budget is going to be huge, though, with all the scenery that he will chew, and I hope he likes sand. And this is why we love Matt Salvatore.
We do.
So many reasons. Well, it's a reason, yeah. It's also the Lego and just his general demeanour.
He brightens my day.
There you go, see? Lovely.
Yeah.
So New Hope. There you go. So we have recast a brand new Hope.
Yeah.
In fact, that's going to be the episode title. I've decided.
Cool.
Yeah. I think we should. Well, should we save some of the fun for next week? Bearing in mind, like you point out, there's only a few new characters in some of these.
We could do the original trilogy this week, the prequel trilogy next week, and the sequel trilogy a week after.
How are we going to do the sequel trilogy? What's the point of doing the sequel trilogy?
Is it just the original trilogy?
It's just the OT.
I apologise.
No, it's fine. Yeah. I like the idea of doing the prequel trilogy, though.
Okay, well,
let's do that. Because it's been 10 years. Right. 20 years.
Exactly.
Yeah. But let's do, all right, so let's do Empire and Jedi now, then.
Okay, so we need Lando.
We do need Lando. So
how old was Billy D in 1980?
He was 43.
Really?
Yep.
He looks younger.
Nope.
Is he just sucking the life force out of Dennis Lawson or something?
I think he might, but I think there's a portrait of him in his loft that looks rubbish.
So he's 43. So someone born in 76 is what we're looking for now.
Indeed.
See, I can do maths when I've got a calculator in my hand. Joke's on you, maths teacher.
No.
What?
Ryan Reynolds.
That's so perfect. Let's just stop there.
Yeah, do you know what? Yeah,
done. Bang.
Ryan Reynolds.
Cannon hammer.
Yeah.
I mean, the first one I pop up was Emma Bunton, which is a terrible decision.
Benedict Cumberbatch is in there as well. As the right age.
Nigel McGuinness. That would be amazing.
That would be rather good. Reese Witherspoon's the right age as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tony Yar. Just punching everything.
Cillian Murphy. He's one I'd love to see in Star Wars, but maybe not for that role.
He'd be my pick to recast as Krennic, to be honest.
That'd be a really good shout. Fred Savage. I couldn't even get through that.
No.
It's such a shame because I like him so much.
Mr. Anderson.
Yeah, why not? Anderson.
Because you give him, especially when Lobot hands him that microphone. Full edges of the excess of wrestling references.
I can't top Ryan Reynolds.
No, it's really so perfect. I mean, I'm feeling a need to continue strolling on, but it's every something pretty special, isn't it?
It is hard, yeah.
Will Meller, bloody hell.
Wow. Right, I'm going to get ahead of us and see. Well, actually, I need the age of woman, whoever that woman was.
That's woman.
Yeah.
I think we'll just roll it on to McDermott. I think because he's replaced in the
Blu-ray
he was version, isn't he?
36 though at the time.
McDermott's 36
at the time. Yeah, in 80.
That's
because obviously he wasn't in the original. He's made up heavily in 83.
Yeah, so he's 39 in Jedi then.
Yeah, so we're looking for actors born in 1983.
That's what I'm on right now.
Oh, that's handy.
I think I'm on 73. I lost track of maths. No, I'm on 76. What the hell was going on there, Harbour? 1983.
Hang on, what did I say?
You said 1983.
So I was in, how old was he? 30?
Ian McDermott was 39 when Jedi came out.
39 with Jedi. So yeah, 36.
Okay, so
actually 17. So we're looking for 83.
1983 for the Emperor.
Yep. I think with this one we can probably get away with choosing somebody older if we can find a good one because he was, not like I say, he wasn't in the original cuts of Empire. So actually he didn't appear first time till Jedi.
Mm.
So let's loophole this one.
Okay.
And say try and keep the same age as the originals. Stu, you don't want that. You think you do, but you don't.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just go with. I'm going to go for 50 and meet like a happy medium.
So 1969 by my reckoning.
Yeah. So
okay.
Jennifer Lopez.
She's 50.
Apparently so. Yeah.
Yeah. She's wouldn't make a bad Palpatine.
No, I could see that. Hang on. Oh no, it wasn't.
Norman Reedus.
Wasn't who I thought it was.
Norman Reedus.
Nah, can't really.
Even with the makeup?
Nah, it doesn't quite.
Much like.
Doesn't quite work. I can't work.
Cushing, he's got quite an old face.
I can't tell you why, but I just can't.
Okay, it
just doesn't quite work, and I'm not sure what. I can't put my finger on what it is.
Dave Grohl.
I kind of would like to see it. I would kind of like to see it.
Doing a Christopher Walken impression.
Rebel scum.
Actually, just Christopher Walken as the Emperor.
That works. Oh man, can you imagine?
Marilyn Manson. He's got the look. He's just a bit of a...
Yeah, I guess so. So I'm going for a 50. Paul Rudd is not 50. You shut your face, IMDb.
Dave Bautista is a really, really hench emperor. Jennifer Aniston.
My Kingdom for an IMDb app that
Thomas
loads.
Jane.
Is he?
It's Boy 69.
Okay. See, Jason Bateman's no good because he's fantastic, but he's not a serious actor. He's a comedy. He's a comedy guy who I'm sure he can do serious, but yeah, he's primarily more of a comedy guy. So I'm having problems with my IMDb app at the moment for some reason. 59. No, that's not what I asked for at all.
Mariah Carey, can you imagine?
Oh man.
Ben Mendelsohn.
No, we can't have him. We're not allowed.
God damn it.
I know.
Keris Matthews, I've forgotten she was a thing.
Yes. She in the thing?
Yeah, she plays one of the snowflakes.
I blinked and missed that.
Kate Blanchett.
See, if you were going to go down that route, she's fantastic. Oh, is he really? Let me just double check.
Are you looking at who I'm looking at?
Michael Sheen.
Oh, I'm looking at Peter Dinklage.
That would be great, but Michael Sheen.
Actually, Peter Dinklage is Vader's voice.
He does good voiceover work.
He really does.
Yeah,
he's great.
Do you know what, Michael Sheen?
Yeah, that really does.
Now I've seen that, I can't look anywhere else.
Yeah, that's going to be pretty hard to top.
Yeah, can you imagine him aged? Can you imagine him aged up as in Palpatine style?
Yeah, that's really. I mean, Ken Jeong would be great as well.
That would be entertaining, very different.
Yeah, he'd be very much more a robot chicken type Palpatine.
Yes, very much so.
How's Shawnee Smith 50? That's not fair.
No. Thomas Jane looks kind of peculiar now.
I'll tell him you said that.
What's he going to do?
Unsubscribe, I don't know.
I'm nobody. What's he going to do?
Triple H.
David Boreanaz. Aged up with like Palpatine style kind of work. I'm still going to stick with Michael Sheen because
Edward Norton
would be a good pick. He's very good. Michael Sheen's still my guy.
I feel a need to persevere, but that is a really good pick you found. Christian Slater. That's
not a bad shout.
I really like him.
I like him. Is he more? The thing is, though, is he one of those guys who suits comedy?
Yeah,
far more than he's serious.
I prefer his comedy. Very much like
Alone in the Dark. That's a comedy, right?
Yeah, it was.
It's hilarious.
Yeah. Much like Mark Wahlberg, I much prefer his comedy stuff to his straight stuff.
I like Mark. I think with the exception of Shooter, I really like Shooter. That's a good film.
Oh, okay.
It's got some funny minutes. It's got some funny moments, but otherwise it's an action movie.
Gwen Stefani. Forgotten she was a thing as well.
Michael Sheen. Who else is there from Empire? Yoda.
How can we miss Yoda?
Mark Thompson. Boom, ship it.
He does a very good job, yeah.
He's flawless. He's so good.
Yeah.
Well, let's say, for argument's sake, you have to choose somebody else. Peter Dinklage.
Peter Dinklage is Yoda.
Yeah. Just as the voice. Still do puppetry for the character and then do the voice for Peter Dinklage. I can see that. I think he'd have so much fun with that. And do you know my entire evidence for this? Space Pants.
Yes.
That is my entire evidence for why he'd make a great Yoda, but I feel like it speaks for itself.
Yeah. I mean, the only one I've got to top that is JK, and I've forgotten he was a thing.
Jamiroquai.
Well. Yeah, that's the one.
Wow, okay.
He's 50 somehow.
Wow, okay. Again, maybe in Star Wars, not so much in Palpatine's role.
Yeah.
It's an odd...
Maybe just have Jamiroquai's figuring down is what you're saying.
Yeah, you have him in, I mean, let's be fair, one of his lesser known hats. That's all you need.
Yeah.
And put him in a band in one of the cantinas somewhere, or Jabba's palace. Replace Jedi Rocks with Deeper Underground. Everybody's happier.
Oh,
just a fact.
What's going to come out of that Godzilla movie?
Who else is there anybody else in Empire that we need to the main characters to the degree that we need to cast them? I mean, you got your Piets and your Ozels and your Needers, don't you? But
yeah, but they're all just David Mitchell and Robert Webb, aren't they?
You can get a few Shakespeareans to do that, I think.
Yeah.
I think you'd be happy enough with that. That'd be fine.
Mm. But there's no significant characters left. Jabba, I guess.
It's probably a good thing that we did do this week.
Even Boba Fett, there's not a lot of substance there, is there?
You don't need you don't need a physical performance. You just need an actor in a suit and then a voice.
Basically, as
who's the voice though?
As is evidenced by the number of times in which it's just a stuntman doing some pickup shots.
Well, indeed.
I love you, Jeremy, but
I'm going to say Gerard Butler for the voice of Boba Fett.
I like that, actually.
Yeah. And then underneath the Dengar outfit, I'm going to suggest Dame Maggie Smith.
Sure. Can we just throw some people in that we think you would like to see as random Imperial admirals and officers?
Yeah, by all means.
Tim Robbins.
Okay, yeah, I like that. I say J.K. Simmons.
Yeah.
Titus Welliver from Bosch.
Yes, I know you're a fan.
Yeah. I'd like to see
Ben. Really good name
I'd
as
like
well.
To see
that
Ben
could just
Affleck.
be a Star Wars name.
I'd like to see Ben Affleck turn up and everybody just and not make a big deal about it at all. And everybody's just like, is that Academy Award winner Ben Affleck? And then have Matt Damon in a different scene later on. Just have him turn up as well, but nobody acknowledges him either. So you just have Affleck and Damon just in the background somewhere.
Yeah.
Just there. Like Brad Pitt in Deadpool 2.
Yeah. Oh, that's so good.
Like just that sort of level of, blink and you'll miss it. Very much so in his case.
Yeah, that's so good. Actually, you know who would make a really good Palpatine? Ian McKellen.
I could see that working. Yeah. He's a
little on the old side.
That's what I'm wondering. Is he a little on the older side?
Yeah.
Shame, because he would be a really good pick.
Do you know who played Yoda in the radio adaptations?
Oh, I feel like I have heard this before, but it's not coming to me.
John Lithgow.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
It works.
Yeah, I bet. I mean, he's played an alien on Third Rock from the Sun, right?
Yeah.
So, he's kind of got that fish out of water thing down
totally.
pat,
Yeah. No, he's a great actor.
Yeah, he's very good. He's turned up a lot. He's turned up again in more and more stuff recently, hasn't he? Because he was...
Yeah.
Is he Churchill in The Crown or something like that?
Yes, or King's Speech or something.
Some movie about that era, and he's...
Yeah.
And then he's in the new Pet Sematary, the remake of that.
Yeah, that's really good casting, actually.
Yeah.
He's just a very, very good actor. So I don't know if he took some time out to do some stage work or
maybe
or was just doing other stuff. But yeah, I'm glad he's back.
Could have just done films that weren't famous.
Yeah. As evinced, I don't actually.
Yeah.
Watch that many movies.
Do you know, I'd like to actually another one I'd like to see as a random Imperial Admiral, Sandra Bullock. Just have her turn up in the background, or just
that works actually.
Because she's got that. I don't know. Just feel like she could make it work.
Yeah. Maybe more rebel for her.
Maybe.
My Imperial I see as more of a Helen Mirren, but
okay, maybe. I can actually totally see that working.
Yeah.
So who's left? So Jedi, we've got Jabba. Off the top of my head, I've got Jabba, Akbar, and Mon Mothma, and that might be all there is in terms of the really important characters.
Johnny Vegas as Jabba.
He's lost loads of weight. That's very unkind.
No, just imagine that voice coming out of Jabba.
Oh my God, I can. Okay, yeah, the voice of Johnny Vegas for Jabba the Hutt. Keep all the puppetry, everything else.
Oh, my favourite bit of Johnny Vegas was when he was on Have I Got News for You. He said, I told my mum and dad I was going to be on Have I Got News for You. Do you know what they said? Don't you dare ruin this for us.
Oh. Okay, so yeah, let's go for the voice of Johnny Vegas for Jabba the Hutt, sure.
The more you picture it, the more you can see it.
Sure, yep.
Yeah.
Seth Green as Admiral Akbar, because he can kind of make it work already.
Yeah, true.
Here's my Mon Mothma pick.
Okay.
Tilda Swinton.
Wasn't what I was going to say, but I can see it working.
Who is your pick?
Olivia Colman.
I can see that working too, actually, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really good shout. But then it's Star Wars, right? All the Brits have to be villains.
Well, until the sequel trilogy, yeah.
Yeah, true, yeah. In which case they all just have to put accents on and pretend they're not villains. or start as villains and not end that way.
Yeah.
I don't know if I have to choose now between Tilda Swinton and Olivia Colman. That's tricky. I mean, in a casting sense.
Yeah.
It's not tricky in any other respect. Actually, yeah, it is. Do you know, I'll go with Coleman.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
cool.
let's get to, I'm happy if we end up getting to the point where we can do this. Maybe we can get Tilda Swinton in another role.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Why don't you make a good Aunt Beru, actually?
Yeah.
It'd be a different take.
Yeah.
But, you know, they did that. I mean, they got Marissa Tomei in as Aunt May, and it's a different take, but it works.
Yeah. I'm trying to think what Tilda Swinton would be really good at, actually.
Just replace Yoda completely.
Yeah, completely with Tilda Swinton.
Yeah. Basically just have her play the Sorcerer Supreme from Doctor Strange.
She'd be a good Emperor, actually.
Maybe.
Don't think I had her as anything in my fantasy cast for the old EU.
No. Make a good Darla. Going back to Legends.
Yeah, I had Nicole Kidman for that.
Well, that's a good pick. What are we doing now?
I'm trying to think of where I can put Tilda Swinton.
Oh, right. Just not in the corner. That's the only rule. If we're reliably informed, that's the rule.
Dryden Voss.
Yeah, that'd work. Yeah. That worked really well. She could also tell you what she could also play as well. This is not as big a part, so I appreciate that she might not be interested. In episode 3, when Obi-Wan gets to Utapau, is that character that meets Obi-Wan at the platform. And then
it's not what I thought you were going to say, but okay.
What do you think I was going to say?
I thought you were going to say for Varactyl.
No.
She could do a whooping lizard.
She probably could, but I just feel like...
It's a waste of her range.
Yeah. Makes better use of her range by...
Tilda, we know what you signed up for, but we've come up with another idea we think we can use your...
The script has gone a different way, yeah. She just... Well, it's fine. Of course.
Yeah.
I'm Tilda Swinton. I'm good at everything. No argument there.
Yeah.
I think we've cast the OT.
I think we have.
Yeah.
I think we've done pretty well there.
I think we've got a good set. So, you know, Stu, hopefully you've enjoyed it. And if anybody's got other picks for these original character retreads, then send them over. podcast@emotionally14.com
Do it.
is where to do it. And just call it, you know, Star Wars Fantasy Recast or anything like that. And we'll just read the best ones. Or indeed all of them.
It depends how busy we are, to be honest.
Exactly. From week to week, it can vary. So, yeah, the only big news of the week is we've been told when we can expect new Star Wars movies after Rise of Skywalker. Where was the source
for this? Because I went looking on Star Wars Twitter and stuff and couldn't find it.
It was their financial call.
Oh, okay.
Disney's I want to say Q4. I guess it would have been. Yeah, it would have been a Q4 financial and earnings call. They announced their docket for the next, I think...
Okay.
7 or 8 years worth of movies. And it looks like, so they announced that the next Star Wars would start in 2022. And they would be every 2 years for a trilogy till 2026. Yep. It looks like they'll be alternating with Avatar, which is assuming there's going to be 3, 4, and 5, because Avatar 3, 4, and 5 are tentatively scheduled for 23, 25, 27. Or maybe 21, 23, 25. I'm not sure.
I can't remember anything about Avatar.
No, indeed, how to pronounce it. It is Avatar. It has always been Avatar.
Is it an American pronunciation? I thought it was Avatar, British pronunciation. No? Okay. No. I apologise.
That's all right. You don't have to. It's just a thing.
Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, we'll start getting a new trilogy in 2022. No word on whose that is, because obviously we are aware of 2 series of films in the works. So there's no word on whether that's Rian Johnson's or whether that's Benioff and Weiss. Who knows? So
much can change between now and then.
100%.
Look at the directors we had lined up for the sequel trilogy originally.
Yes, now we have we've had 2 out
One
of
film we've managed to keep.
Sequel trilogy.
Wasn't someone else working on episode 8 before Rian Johnson?
No, Rian Johnson was always in there.
Was he? Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Lord and Miller were in for Solo, and then you got replaced by Ron Howard.
Yeah.
And then obviously Trevor Rowe was supposed to be in for Rise of Skywalker, and then JJ came in and JJing it up, as he is wont to do, hence his name. But yeah, I think other than that, Gareth Edwards is always in for Rogue One. JJ was always in for episode 7. I don't think there was ever any point where the TV stuff was under any other supervision than Jon Favreau.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think, if you had to pick, which one do you see it being? Of the two we know, let's say it's one of the two we know about, because obviously that might not even be, we can't even take that for granted, but let's say for argument's sake it is.
In 2001,
yeah,
the US military airdropped 2.4 million Pop-Tarts in Afghanistan.
I had a feeling Pop-Tarts were coming back.
That's because you know how my rhythm works.
Yeah. Your Darth cadence.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, if you had to pick, let's say for argument's sake, it's definitely one of the two that we know of.
I think it will be the Rian Johnson trilogy because we've had that confirmed as a trilogy. We still have not had it confirmed.
The Benioff and Weiss are doing anything more than...
Benioff and Weiss, we don't even know. Is it even confirmed it's a film? It could be a straight to Disney Plus thing, that's what I'd heard.
It's confirmed they're films.
Oh, okay.
They've confirmed there's more than one film, but they haven't said whether it's a cinema release or a Disney Plus thing. Yeah. Or anything like that. They've just confirmed. I don't even think Disney Plus was a thing at the time it was originally announced. But it probably was a thing, but obviously because they have to research and develop it. But it wasn't a publicly known thing. I don't know for sure. I mean, listeners, feel free to correct me if I have got my timeline mixed up there. But I feel like it wasn't even particularly known that it was going to be Benioff and Weiss, or rather that Disney Plus was going to be a thing and what it was going to involve, certainly.
Yeah.
I would concur. I think Rian Johnson's trilogy is far more likely to be this new one in 2022. I think partly also because I think Benioff and Weiss, I seem to recall, are involved with the Game of Thrones prequel series.
Okay.
Maybe not fully involved in writing, directing, producing and all that, but I think they've got some involvement in it. So I think they may be tied up for a little while after Game of Thrones finishes. So I think it's more likely you're going to see, Rian Johnson in 2022, or the first of his movies, I should say. It's not going to just be him standing in front, standing on the camera for 2.5 hours, just, encouraging us to look at his testicles. So seems unlikely, I feel.
I think there's some people would sing his praises if he did that.
I'm sure. I don't doubt it. Yeah. But I think you're right. I think it's going to be Ryan in 2022. Do you think, because obviously they've announced all this stuff, right? And this is the works. This is there's a live action movie that's yet to be announced, presumably one of the adaptations of one of the classic cartoons. There's Indiana Jones is on the list, as say, multiple Avatar movies.
I'm surprised we're doing more Indiana Jones.
Yeah, I think I get the feeling it's going to be what they would have probably wanted Crystal Skull to be, which is a torch passing to a new, younger actor who can then play that role or a similar role.
All in their own right.
Why not? Somebody said they should cast him and just see what happens because ultimately he's got form.
Yeah.
So do you think there's a possibility we might see some self-contained standalone movies in between those?
If we do, I think they'll be straight to Disney Plus.
Okay. Interesting. Might well be.
I think they, on a purely commercial basis, I think they're wary of overproducing Star Wars because I think they got their fingers burnt with Solo.
Yeah, I mean, that's entirely possible. I don't know. I get what you mean. I actually think that's quite interesting because they're going to have to build up that product catalog over time. Mm-hmm. Because at the moment, obviously, they've got. We know what's been announced for Disney Plus. We know what's coming in terms of. Obviously, they now have the rights to the original trilogy and the prequels, so they can play those on Disney Plus without any problem. Mm-hmm. They've got Marvel. They've got the new Star Wars. These things are all there. Clone Wars, Rebels. Presumably, these things will turn up.
Yeah.
Maybe if they deign to flick some crumbs our way, the UK might get some of this stuff. But then that's all stuff we already know about and stuff we've already seen.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to see. Though obviously we know there's a Cassian and K2 series.
Yes.
and The Mandalorian.
And The Mandalorian, yeah.
And
in terms of Star Wars,
presumably Clone Wars Season 7 too.
That was the impression I was under, as it was going to be Disney Plus. Yeah.
Yeah, unless
and
that's...
obviously you can have the back catalogues like Clone Wars and Resistance and Rebels as well.
Yeah.
Hopefully the Ewok movies. And
they're on Amazon Prime, did you know?
I didn't. I have them on disc anyway, but it's not. I'm not looking for them. But,
I popped up the other day. I was just there. Oh, I might watch them.
Yeah. Will my daughter hate me if I watch?
Or if you play them for her before Jedi, and then she sees them in Jedi, and don't tell them they're there. Maybe she'll think that's amazing, and maybe she'll think Ewoks can turn up everywhere. Yeah,
she's seen Jedi already. Yeah, she's done the original trilogy now. And a fair amount of first series of Rebels as well.
Mm-hmm. Where were we? Standalones.
I'm in my bedroom. Okay, yeah.
So you think it's standalones, not so much? Not in the cinema release?
I don't think they will get a cinema release, no. I think they have their confidence knocked back. There were so many reasons Solo didn't do as well as it should have done, and but I can see how their main takeaway might be we tried to do too much.
Maybe, yeah. I think part of the thing for me is obviously because everybody says, "Oh, well, how can you say they did too much when Marvel can do all this and still still stay fresh?" One, there are some movies in there that suck. There are. There is such a thing as Thor: The Dark World. It is not the best. But also
I just can't remember anything about it.
No, well, this is it. There's so many in there that aren't even bad, just blah.
Yeah,
they're just films that happened.
Yeah,
but I think with where Star Wars maybe differed in a way that maybe to its detriment in comparison is all the standalone stories were disconnected from the main thread that's running currently, whereas all the Marvel stuff is contiguous. So everything is, all the films are happening similar timing, and they all kind of feed into each other. Yeah, they've got that thing of you've got to see this one before the next one comes out. Yeah, whereas with Rogue One, Star Wars doesn't have that. No, Rogue One didn't have that. Solo certainly didn't have that. It was, if anything, it was the wrong way around. Yeah, I do also think it's. To do with the source material as well. Comics are a relatively rapid production, disposable medium. I mean, there's 30 Marvel comics come out a week. Something like that, yeah. And so there's a precedent for that kind of rapid production, rapid consumption. Yeah. And they set that very early. There was about 6 months between Iron Man and Hulk? That's probably the biggest gap. I mean, they're averaging out 2 movies a year. So I mean, there's some years for a bit, but there's some where if you go across the entire Infinity Saga, as they're calling it, from Iron Man to Endgame is 11 years, 22 movies. So averages at 2 a year, but obviously there are some where it's like 1, and then some where it's 3. Okay. So kind of, but broadly speaking, it's kind of you don't have to wait more than 9 months, say. Yeah, but they set that precedent going quite quick. There's going to be, and there's sometimes I'm sure there's 3 in a year, 1 year. It's just there's just this kind of rapid turnaround with them. And Star Wars has never had that. There's never been 30 Star Wars stories a week. No, that's true. There's you got even when the EU was chucking out novels, they weren't doing more than 4 a year. No, it's true. Maybe even 1, maybe 2 at a push. Dark Horse wouldn't run more than 3 titles, so you'd be getting 3, if including annuals and specials, you might get 5 comics a month. Yeah, on the outside. Star Wars has never had that rapid production, rapid consumption that Marvel and other comic franchises have. Yeah. It's always, Star Wars has been gift from the gods almost. So there's a new Star Wars movie coming in. You talked about that for years, and you got excited, and you went along and watched the movie, and there was supporting materials for the enthusiastic fans, and I think where a part of the reason Solo Crashed and Burnt was they tried to make Star Wars have the same production schedule as Marvel. Yeah, and I think if Solo had gone gangbusters, we would be looking at 2 to 3 Star Wars movies a year. I think that was them testing the water and finding out that that's not people's perceptions of how you consume Star Wars. I still I think we have to agree to disagree on this. We done this particular one. I don't think they were intending to do 2 a year. I think it was just they wanted to. I think they worried too much about how a delay to Solo might look, and ended up just holding firm in May. I mean, there may have been, a kind of an element of, oh well, everybody kind of is the Star Wars thing's a bit of a sour taste because of the whole furore around Last Jedi. Let's release the next one quick, clean everybody's palate, and then hopefully it will kind of die off. Incidentally, I had a quick look. There was 1 year where it was 3. What I find really weird is there are years where there's almost nothing, but it still averages out to 2 a year. So 2017, Guardians 2, Spider-Man Homecoming, and Thor Ragnarok.
That was a good year.
Yeah, it was a good year. And then 2018, there were 3. And then so far there have been 2 in 2019, and we're in May. And we got Spider-Man Far From Home in July. And then that's it. That's the last film of Phase 3. And then Phase 4 comes after that. As that's how phases work.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, there's been 2 years. And it's only the most recent 2 full years where they've had 3. Otherwise it's been one or 2. Okay. Which is odd. I thought it would be more than that.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because there's some of the Venom and stuff that felt
maybe,
sort of, but not really Marvel.
Connected, but not quite, yeah. And Deadpool and Deadpool 2, of course.
Yeah, probably.
X-Men.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's quite a few kind of Marvel properties, but not Marvel Studios productions. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, that's probably it.
Cool.
Well, there you go. That's Talk Star Wars for this week.
Awesome.
Yeah, we've certainly talked some Star Wars.
I think we did well.
I think so. I think so. We've got A Brand New Hope, and people will hopefully enjoy that. I hope.
Yeah, I'd go and see it.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's a good barometer for anything.
Yeah.
If you've enjoyed the show and you wish to subscribe, we're available on all good podcasting platforms, including probably the one you just heard it on. Yeah, more than likely.
Just press the subscribe button and you're done.
Exactly. You subscribe or you do whatever the equivalent is for the app or service you're running. And you can email by emailing podcast@emotionally14.com and getting involved with the show that way. The Talk Star Wars Gmail still works if people want to use that, or you can be a Desperdoo and send to both because he does, and that's very helpful. You can see the show. You can get the show directly on talkstarwars.co.uk. That will take you directly to the podcast page on Spreaker, and you can listen to it with all the old episodes and everything like that. Just set up in a big list. It's wonderful. Gotta love it. And you can interact with Talk Star Wars on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Talk Star Wars. Speaking of social media, Brad, where might people find you?
Well, the best find me is on Facebook, where I'm exceptionally verbose and post songs I'm listening to and comics I'm reading and books I've been enjoying and stuff. And you can find me directly at facebook.com/BradHarmerBarnes. If you forget what that is, it's just facebook.com followed by my name. If you want to see me making occasional micro rants, and you can follow me on Twitter at RealBradHB. If you want to see me posting mostly badly edited photos of stuff I'm working on behind the scenes, then you can follow me on Instagram at RealBradHB, and you can, of course, also follow my Star Wars tabletop gaming show, Fire When Ready, Adventures in Star Wars Tabletop Gaming, through emotionally14.com, at our Facebook page and our Instagram profile at Fire When Ready UK. And you can, of course, buy my books through Amazon.
Yes, you can. And you can do so by visiting emotionally14.com, finding anything that Brad's done, or the Team E14 page, and there's a link in the thing, so you can go there.
It sure is.
I can be found on Twitter and Instagram at RobWadeVision, and you can, if you're interacting with Emotionally14 or Talk Star Wars on social media, then you're probably talking to me. I would be remiss, as always, if I didn't mention the Star Wars Commonwealth Podcast Network.
Credits.
I'm not going to be remiss. We've done this. So in addition to Talk Star Wars, you can enjoy, via the Commonwealth, the fine podcast stylings of Tumbling Saber, Generation X-Wing,
Yay,
Nerd Room,
Woo,
Rogue Squadron podcast,
whoop, whoop,
the San Diego Sabres radio podcast,
yeah, boy,
Retro Inc.,
Run Out Noises,
and the Sandcrawler
Enthusiasm.
Cast. There you go. Well, there's only 8 now, so
yeah, it's quicker. Yeah, still run out.
Yeah, So you can find all of those shows on the web at starwarscommonwealth.com and take your first steps into a larger world.
You will.
I always feel like I'm forgetting something. I don't think I am. So for this week, my thanks to you, Brad, for joining me, obviously. And to everybody out there for listening in Listener Land. We will see you next week for episode 169. In the meantime, be good to each other, and may the force be with you.
And happy birthday for Saturday.
Thank you.